Hey, welcome to my channel. Let's get started. Okay, it's gonna be part one. This part is gonna be on. This reading is going to be on your spiritual abilities and what they are. How can you unlock them and stuff. Sorry if you can hear that in the back. Pile two. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear. Pile five and pile six. Hello to those who chose pile one. Let's get started. I would like to apologize if you can hear fighting in the background. They've been fighting for like a really long time, and I don't know when they're going to stop, but I just already want to interpret your reading. That's why I'm doing it right now. Okay, so the first one I'm looking at is Persephone, and I think it's like a beautiful, what's it called, like blending. So over here's the Devil card and Persephone, but like their theme in common is that they're both dressed in dark. So I don't know if you like to dress in dark clothing too. I just want to point that out because I think it's really pretty how they both align that much. But with that in mind, the first interpretation I was getting from the Persephone, you can have the control, or I guess you can see the power, whatever the ability of other people's emotional stability. So if you want that person to feel happy, this is talking about your spiritual abilities too, okay? Meditate or not, I feel like once you master this, you don't even have to meditate. You can make them feel a certain way. You don't even have to do anything. I feel like events will happen around them to make them feel that way that you want them to feel. And the thing is that you can use this for good or you can use this for bad. But it's not like I'm not getting that it's like, oh, I want you to feel happy, and you stare at them and then, oh my gosh, they suddenly start feeling happy. It's like, it's not even like that. It's like, you know what, Sandra over there, I want her to feel happy. She's going to feel happy. It's going to happen right now. And it takes probably like 20 minutes, but like other stuff starts happening around them and then they start feeling happy. It's like that. Okay, I think this is important to point out for myself, and I will just say this verbally aloud. But I think that you like doing things to entertain yourself, honestly, because like how I told you that that's one of your spiritual abilities. It's like, okay, I want that to happen. It's like you being the master and you're just puppeting things to happen, but you're doing it for your own entertainment or your own like self fulfillment. Like you don't need to do these things. I don't know. Like how whenever someone says that they feel like an inner desire to do this. They feel called by God to do it. It's like no, like you're doing it. I'm seeing you. That's how you mostly use your spiritual abilities, or that's how you're going to be using your spiritual abilities. I'm not saying that God can't speak to you and then you use your abilities. And I think one more thing to draw from this card, I think that, like how I said, I'm saying these are your spiritual abilities, but I think that it's once you master them. Once you master this particular ability, I'm seeing me myself as a reader, like influencing my bias. I'm scared if anyone were to do these things to me because it's like you have that power, you know. But anyways, one of your other abilities is that you can like take someone's shield away, take someone's protection away to see the truth or just to take away their protection or their ability to self protect, like spiritually. Which I know that sounds like anyone can do that, but you have to realize that some people are just born to be healers. Some people are just born to manifest good things into their life. It's like, but I'm letting you know that yours are more guided towards building down the walls of others and influencing them. So it's like everyone manifests in their own way, but I'm just letting you know that the way to exalt your manifestations is by influencing others, okay? With the devil and the talk more, okay. So I already told you these are your spiritual abilities. With the devil card, I'm seeing this more as like your weakness. So your weakness is that I feel like you're an introvert. Even if you're an extrovert, it's like you're very business oriented. Like if I'm working, this is strictly business. There's no emotions involved. If once I'm done from work, like once it reaches 7, I'm done. Like I'm doing my own thing. I'm not gonna stay longer for the shift. It's like that. I'm seeing that strong boundary with you. It's either that or like you're an introvert. So with that in mind, it's like I don't think that you like dealing with people honestly. Like either way, so I think I need to tell you this because this pile is going to tell you about your spiritual abilities. Don't rely too much on them, because it's like you need to also mature yourself emotionally to, or socially mature. You need to learn these capabilities. You can't rely on these spiritual abilities too much. I'm saying you can't, but honestly, you can. This is why the devil and the Persephone are so aligned and so alike, because you really can. But I'm just letting you know that if you want a perfect balance in your life, you should probably try to work on your weaknesses, and I think that has to do with interpersonal. With these two cards together, I'm getting that you have a knack for finding things. You know how whenever people use those little metal detectors to see if there's like jewelry or like any types of metals underneath the ground, or I even saw in this one documentary where they were using this machine to see if there's any bones or bodies in the ground. I don't know, like you just have the natural ability to locate where a body is or like locate where an item is. However, with this in mind, I think that you have to either know the person or no, you have to have a possession of theirs before you do that. I think one of your other spiritual okay, I think that these are just like genuinely like you're born with them because it's like I felt like over here it was like I think that that you have these ones, the ones that I was talking about with Persephone, but I think these are like if you're not psychic, like this is some psychic stuff right here. Like I think these are your psychic abilities. There you go. Let's say if you're trying to reach out to a loved one or you're trying to channel a message from a source, from a spirit, I don't know, wherever you want to channel, it's like impossible. Like they cannot overtake your body. You know how, let's say a demon possession, right? It just, they end up overtaking the person's body and they end up walling out and stuff. They end up doing whatever the demon wants them to do because they can't help it. They don't have any control. It will be super, super, super hard for any spirit to do that to you. So with that in mind, it's like I think this is these two are on the bottom. You don't have to worry about always protect yourself, always take precautions. But I'm just getting to say this, like you don't have to worry about spirits really overtaking your body or physically harming you. If you're feeling them say you need to say a message from them, you need to say it, you need to express it too. And with like what I just said with that, because of this psychic ability, if a spirit is coming through that, let's say you don't even know the person that you're sitting next to, but you have to tell them that their grandma Trina wants them to know that they like the purple roses that they picked out for their boyfriend. But you're like, what? Like, how would I even like? You have to say it. You have to say it. I'm sorry. You have to say it, or this spirit's gonna be sticking around you until you say it. It's kind of annoying because it's like it's not your fault, but you have to deliver the message. The spirit, the entity, whoever you want to tap into, they have the ability to show you a snapshot. Let's say if they were alive in this real world or something, when they were alive, I mean, you have the ability to for them to show you what they were seeing at a certain time. Does that make any sense? So yeah, I think that you naturally are just like an open channel for spirits to come and go. With that in mind, I can picture like quite a few paranormal activities happening to you. Either that, or like you could just feel like someone calling your name, or like someone touching you. Just, but I don't see it ever coming to the point where like you end up being scared that you're haunted. You end up thinking that you're going crazy or something. Because like there's a strict boundary. Like how I said over here. Like I think you're very good with boundaries. With now I'm going on to over here, like how I said, I apologize if you can hear them fighting. They're literally like right next to my window. So I'm not surprised when you hear. Okay. You know how there's like sun and moon, right? So like there's like a duality. There's like a light and dark. There's yin and yang, right? So I was getting that if you're trying to practice any type of sun magic or something that has not okay, not fire, sorry. I got to say the distinction. If there's any sun magic that you're trying to do, a sun deity you're trying to contact, or if you're doing spells during the day, like you should really consider trying to contact like a moon deity, do your spells at night, or it's just something about the moon. Okay, and even though I said light and dark, honestly, I was wrong saying that. Or like the yin and the yang. I'm not getting that. Like you can still incorporate both of those. You can still incorporate fire, let's say, but you should really looking into the moon in your practices if that's what you're doing. Okay. So because I said practices, this was about how you can influence people, how you can further work on your spiritual ability. Over here is your psychic abilities, and these are just your God-given abilities. These are just what you got naturally, honestly. I don't think that you can really perfect them, really. Like it's just you have to get used to having them. And then over here is like some witchcraft stuff. So if you're not into witchcraft, I don't know, but like I'm just saying, or like manifestations or something like that. And something else I was really getting was that creativity and night. I don't know about y'all, but my creativity usually sparks in that. I think it's like that for everyone else. I don't know, unless I'm being selfish. If you're doing witchcraft, think about the moon, think about creativity, because I think that there's something there. Hmm. They're telling you to do more. If you're not into witchcraft, it's all good. But I'm letting you know, I think this like spirits, this is their advice for you. More of like, you need to do more spiritual stuff, spiritual practices, or witchcraft things that have to do with putting you into alignment. Like how I told you over here, like you're too focused on other people and trying to influence other people. Maybe you're too focused on manifesting money. You're too focused on manifesting love or something. It's like you need to focus on yourself first because you'd be surprised how powerful you become once you're aligned. This is a really great reading, honestly. It's really positive. If you don't know what you want to do in the future, if you don't know what your life path is, if you don't know what your drive for life is, let's say like you just kind of feel numb, like going throughout the day, going to work, talking with friends, doing this, just like a normal routine, and it's like you feel like there's something more out there for you, let's say that too, you have to do practices to get in alignment with you. And you can do this through witchcraft. You can do this without witchcraft, honestly. You can do this by just working on yourself, like shadow work and stuff. I'm just trying to give you advice, but I think that it's really personalized to your own and how you're going to be resonating with this. Yeah, because I'm getting people who are kind of scatterbrained. Even if you do know what you want to do in life, if you think you know what your life path is, you're doing the most, honestly. It's like, oh my gosh, I know my life path is to go into finance or something. So you open a business and then you go into stocks and then you hire coworkers and it's like I feel like you're doing the most. Like you either need to simplify everything or you need to hire people to help you out. Because I feel like you're doing it, there's no perfect balance for you. It's too scattered. Don't be afraid to start one at a time. But regardless if you know what your life path is or not, whenever it comes to life goals, if you don't even have any, start one at a time. I'm not like one step at a time. That's what I mean. And stop being afraid. of taking one step at a time. If you don't know what your life path is, and you need to slow down and calm down if you're doing too much at once, and if you think that you know what you're meant to do in this life. Okay? I think this is only for people who are looking for love. I think if you're already in love, I don't think this pertains to you. Or if it does, then take it. I think it's people who are searching for love or maybe who are doing magic for love and stuff. It's like you need to actually be single. Like spirit's telling you need to be single. I feel like you're not fully in balance and you need to be in balance before you start looking for that. And I think that you'd be surprised how easily it'll come to you, like how easy success and love will come to you. Instead of trying to pull people in and do things, it's like that's gonna take a while. But you believe it or not, once you just put yourself in alignment, just things are just gonna come to you. So yeah, and one last thing I'm getting to wrap this up is before you can think about giving yourself to other people or giving opportunities to other people, anything, any type of giving, you need to think about how are you giving to yourself. And if you don't, let's say if you don't have hobbies, if you don't know what really like sparks creativity, what sparks joy in your heart, then you need to do a long look at yourself and find out what that is. And keep in mind that that's going to take time. That's what spirit's meant to tell you. Yeah. I didn't mean to like scold you or anything because if I'm being real, like I'm not surprised if I end up picking this pile for myself because I think that I'm still trying to find myself too. You know, I'm young, still gotta do me and stuff, but I hope that you're able to take whatever I said in this reading and work on your spiritual abilities and work on finding a balance in your life. So please like, dislike, and comment. I read you guys' comments. I really like it. And have a great day or night. Bye. Chosen pile two. Well, I would like to apologize in advance that if you hear a bunch of yelling in the background, there's people literally right next to my window talking away. And if I'm being real, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I don't care. I'm already used to this. And I just want to get on to your reading and just interpret your cards and just deliver this. Well, the first thing I'm getting without even interpreting anything, I think I'm just getting the overall vibe of you. I think that you have quite the personality. I'm getting the word chauvinistic. I don't know what that means. Just you're very out there. You're very look at me, you notice me, even if you don't, whatever, you're still looking at me. Okay, so starting off over here with the, is this the knight? Yeah, this is the Knight of Wands. And with these two, you don't give a single if someone doesn't or does like your decision, or if someone is speaking up or not, you are still going to speak up. Like, even if someone else spoke up, you're still going to speak up with them too. If someone else is not speaking up about something, you're still going to speak up. Sorry, I'm getting more about your personality. I promise I'll end up telling you about your spiritual ability. But this is what I know from the other pile too. I'm getting your personality first. Okay, if you don't know, I think you know this by now. You have to, especially with your type of personality and your confidence and your freaking charisma. Like, you're a manifester. And the thing I like about you is that you're naturally a manifester, okay? Like, even without this personality or not, you're a manifester. But because you don't give a fuck. Like, you will go and you will do whatever you need to do, even if it seems impossible. That's my point. Like, let's say you're all at a business meeting and the boss comes in of like the whole company. You're all sitting there and he slaps his assistant's ass and he laughs and everyone else laughs along with it. You're gonna say something. You don't give a fuck. I'm saying examples like that, but I'm getting so much other examples where like where no one else will go, you will go there. And then I also I'm gonna look gorgeous while doing it too. Oh my god, I really like it. Okay, by the way, like how I was saying with the other pile, if you're not like this right now, you're going to be like this. I'm just letting you know. Because this pile you're picking in your ass, what are my spiritual abilities? To me, I'm going to tell you what your spiritual abilities are, and I'm also going to be telling you like your true nature, like your true personality is. And you're going to eventually grow into the spiritual abilities and also your true personality. You seem like a very powerful person. It's like even if you're poor, even if you're rich, you have power. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at in life, you have power. No one's gonna tell you what to do too. With the Nine of Swords in reverse, I'm getting okay, this is your spiritual ability. This is the reason why it's in reverse, because this is about I noticed that the reverse cards are really about the spiritual realm too, from the last pile I got. So with that in mind, you know how whenever you're playing an RPG game and there's like the healer and there's the archer, because like long distance support, well, you're like the one that's in the front line, like you're the berserker, whatever it's called, like you're the attacker. You're the one that ends up getting the most hurt because you just go in and you just like kill them all, like that. That's how I'm feeling you are, like spiritually. The way that this can manifest with you is that you're spiritual. You have the God-given ability to obviously do this with precaution and do a lot of research, but you can exercise someone. Like when someone has a demon inside them, I could picture you having a knack for that. Or it's like just I'm getting like you attacking evil. The reason why you're getting this ability, you will always persevere through it. Like you don't stop. You keep on going, you keep on going, that's why you always will end up defeating evil if you decide to use a spiritual gift. If I'm being real, I'm not even seeing you being the type of person to like if you're meditating, let's say, and you're in a different realm. I'm not seeing you doing your own thing, like tending to your garden. I'm seeing you like going to adventures, wanting to discover things, wanting to. This is why you also have this gift too, because it's just the way you are. It's your personality. This is why you're given this gift. You can defeat evil, but I'm seeing like you getting your hands dirty doing it spiritually. And I got to say the word synastry with that, so I know nothing about astrology, but I got to say that. Okay, with the one day, guys, they're really fighting really bad. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. They've been doing this for like the whole time. Okay, so with this one day, I'm getting that. Okay, each glass vase has an opportunity in it that is going to manifest in one day. But the thing is that it's covered. So anyone looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh, will I get an opportunity that's gonna manifest in 5 days? Will I get an opportunity that's gonna manifest in a year? Will I get one that's gonna manifest in an hour? But it's to you, it's like, what? Like, who cares? Like, all these are gonna manifest in a day for me. Like, I don't care. And you have that much trust in spirit, and you are so in sync with spirit that they have to adjust to your reality. Like, they have to give you like all the opportunities presented to you, unlike everyone else who's like, oh, is it a year? Is it a month? Is it a few days? For you, it's like they're all within a day because you have that much trust in spirit to give you the opportunity within a day. And it's going to happen because it's your reality. So they have to align to your reality. They have to align to your reality. You're God, like I don't mean to use his name in vain or whatever, but like you're really powerful. You're like in control of your life, God. And it's not so much like spirit being like subservient to you. It's like you're just utilizing what you got. You're. I should really learn some things from you. I don't know. This is not my fight. It's not. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know if you had good childhood, bad childhood, but with this kitten over here, I'm getting for you. I think that you've had good luck in your life. I don't know if it started off like that, but I think that especially recently or the past few years and from here on out, you're going to be blessed. And the reason for this is because you not only are you chosen, I cannot express how beautiful your connection is with spirit. Like I think that you fully trust and you know that they exist. You know the signs that they give you. You know them in and out, and they know you in and out. No one can break your connection with them. How can someone live a normal life after that? Like knowing all that. The reason why I brought up about your child, I don't know how you're raised, but I'm seeing you as like I could picture you being like the black sheep of your family, or let's say you didn't even have a family, right? You were just alone this whole time. The foster system. You are unapologetically you, and I would just, my opinion, this the cards aren't saying this, but for me as a reader, I would like to give you props for that. Like really ruminate on that because I feel like for you it comes naturally. Like I've been doing this all my life. I've been myself all my life. I've been isolated. I've been supported. It's like whoever supports me is gonna come along with me. Someone else doesn't, and I love them. It's like, oh well, I have to leave them behind. It's like you have been so yourself that I think that you have to realize that there are so many people out there who aren't spiritual and who are living in fear, who are just aren't being their true authentic self and loving their life like how you are. And I would just like to praise you for that. Okay, so this is a contrast to the last pile. Over here with the Yamaya, I'm really getting your spiritual gifts and your abilities. Okay, so with the last pile, I was like, they need to focus on like moon magic or like moon deities or just whatever, just like moon stuff. But for you, it's the opposite. It's the sun. It's like it says it right there, sun rays. Like it says it right there. If you are not working with a sun deity, or if you do witchcraft, okay, only if you do magic or something. If you aren't incorporating the sun in your magic, you need to do that, okay? Like if you're working more with the moon, you need a. There's a reason why things aren't working out there or something. Like there's a reason why manifestations are being too slow. Like you need to work with the sun or with the elements of the sun, like stuff like that. And with that in mind, I'm not saying like, oh, because the moon is related with the water, you can't work with water. I'm not trying to say that. It's like work with what you got. Work with what you got with the sun, not with the moon. Okay? You have the gift to make people beautiful. So let me please elaborate on this because this seems like really mundane. Obviously, with your personality, you seem like a really creative person. So I could picture you like you loving to either do art on people, so cut their hair, do their makeup, do nails on them or something. Or you could also be a counselor, like making people like making someone's beauty stand out from the inside. You get me? So by them working on themselves, them working on their issues, they will have a quote unquote there's no such thing as a remission from a personality disorder, but hell, like the closest thing you can get to remission, it's like you end up helping them out with that, and they end up radiating their inner beauty. With the last pile, they needed to work on themselves, they needed to find themselves. But with this pile, you have always known who you were. And if you have not always known, you at least have known for the past few years. You know, like you've come to find yourself. You're ready. I'm letting you know. Spirits tell me to tell you that you're ready to help other people find their beauty too. Because your beauty radiates from within and it just shines out and it's so fucking gorgeous. Like you're gorgeous. You're so beautiful. Everyone stops and looks at you. Even if someone doesn't stop and look at you, they're jealous. Like I don't know. Like you just have this confidence. You have this knowing about you, and it's so authentic to yourself. It's so unique to yourself, and Spirit is encouraging you to help others find that. So let's say you end up having a job that doesn't involve interpersonal reaction. I mean, interpersonal interaction. It's like you can be a social media influencer. I feel like it's just whatever naturally pertains to you. If yeah, you have to be helping people out. If you feel the need, if you have been feeling the need to volunteer somewhere, volunteer at that place. Like really. But I think you already know this. Like I think you already know your life path. I'm so sorry if you wanted more about spiritual abilities, but if I'm being real, I think that you already know all your spiritual abilities. I feel like this is the only one that you didn't know. The one that I mentioned about the Knight of Swords, about you being able to like slay evil. I think I'm so happy these are all in alignment because it's getting me to tell you. You already know this. You know everything I just told you except for possibly this. But besides that, I think Spirit's message to you is that continue living off of what emotionally fulfills you. If something that you're doing right now doesn't emotionally fulfill you in 5 years, don't be afraid to move. But you already know this. Like, emotional fulfillment and love for you and this life is going to bolster your success and bolster your beauty. Like, what's your love? You already know what your love is. I don't know what your love. I don't know you, but that love makes you stronger. And if that's self love, then you know you always have to put yourself first. If that's loving your children, if that ends up changing to loving your children, that's okay. You know, it's lending me to tell you that if you have always self loved and then now you have to transition into loving a partner, that's okay. Don't only love yourself. Don't stick to the same love that you have. Love is ever expanding. Love is meant to be given to other people. So don't be afraid to do that. And I know I'm making it sound like if you're fearing it or something. I think the reason I meant to tell you this is that you seem like a very out there personality, a very bold and strong, but believe it or not, you can be selfish in that energy. So be aware of how much love you're giving to other people too. Like, don't give it all to yourself, okay? There, that was it. That was like a life lesson, honestly. I'm so sorry I couldn't give you more about your spiritual abilities, but I feel like you and yourself, like who even wants to mess with you spiritually? Like I feel like you already know your spiritual abilities. If I'm being real, like I keep on repeating myself. Okay, I'm gonna stop repeating myself. You're so beautiful. Like your energy's it's gorgeous. I can't stop. I can't stop complimenting you. I'm just gonna end this. Like they're still fighting, y'all. Like they're my neighbors. They're fighting about things that they hate about each other, like how they hate, like she hates his cat, like that. That's what they're both fighting about right now. So stupid. Oh my gosh. So, I hope you guys have a great day tonight. Please comment if this resonated. Oh, like I would love to know if this resonated. I would love to know who you are. Like, please let me know if you're proud to. Like, if you want to. It's just, I love your energy, anyways. Um, and I hope you guys have a great day tonight. Oh, and subscribe. I don't know if I said that. Bye. Hello to those who chose pile 3. Let's get started. Okay, I'm not interpreting the cards yet. I think I'm just reading off the energy, but I'm getting the Spanish song. So with that in mind, I don't know if you're bilingual or if you're interested in like another culture or other cultures. It's weird because I look at the Artemis card, and this is usually where I'm getting your spiritual abilities or spiritual gifts. Okay, I was getting you first shrinking and then increasing your size, or like one of your body parts expanding and then it getting smaller, like you being able to retract that. And then another one I was getting was like you shape shifting, and then another one I was getting was you being able to create things out of like it seems like nothing or like it seems like simple stuff, but then you create something beautiful. So I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing because I'm just trying to get the interpretation from it. Okay, so spiritually, I think that whenever you meditate, let's say, or if you're not very good at meditating, once you start meditating and once you go into the other realm, I think you often go to the same exact spots, or like I don't think that you like venturing out, that's my point. You go wherever your ancestors are or your loved ones are. I think you're very, very linked to your ancestors and their journey. Okay, I think that one of the spiritual gifts that you can further develop and further hone, like once it's at its like let's say mastered state, like spiritually, you don't even have to do anything. You just have to stand there and you can like emit something that repels people or repels spirits or repels things. I don't know how to say it, but it's not telekinesis. It's like you having like a force field and you expanding the force field and no one can freaking enter it. that, or like spirits can't enter it, or whatever spirits that you don't want to enter it, they can't enter it. And that's one of your spiritual abilities, your spiritual gifts. So with that in mind, in the real world, let's say, I think that you have a great knack, you have a great ability to protect yourself and also to protect others. Because that's like you also expanding your force field to protect someone else too. Okay, and then with the shape shifting interpretation, what I'm now getting is that you know how whenever like deities or like God or like someone, whatever you believe in is trying to contact you, they contact you a specific way through an animal. I'm getting like you can do that with any animal to anyone. This is your spiritual gift, this is your spiritual talent. And I think that once you perfect it, let's say you know someone else who's spiritual, okay? So you get this huge snake and you have to swallow a message and the snake goes about to wherever the friend's place is. Friend's third eye starts popping. They go into meditation mode. Then they receive the message that you sent them through the snake. It's like that. Okay. Now, like how I said, once you've mastered this, I think that you'll be able to do this in reality, but not necessarily like, oh my gosh, they're somehow going to have a letter that you wrote. I don't know. It's like you sending a sign. So, okay, an example, your friend is going to off themselves and they told you that they were going to do this by the end of the week. So you meditate and you're like, I'm going to send a turtle to my friend. I'm going to send two turtles to my friend and they're both going to be orangish. So then you go to your friend, you're like, okay, you know what, I understand that you want to off yourself and all this stuff. I really don't want you to. I think a lot of people care about you, but with that in mind, if you see two orange turtles, let's say that, like if you see two orange turtles, that's God telling you not to do it. And I had a dream about it, and God told me to tell you that. And then they end up seeing two orange turtles before the end of the weekend, so they can't do it anymore. It's like that. And I think that just naturally animals like you, and I think that you'll have luck even in dangerous situations. Let's say, obviously, don't take always take protection. Don't always rely on this. I'm so sorry. There's freaking yelling in the background. So annoying. Let's say if there's like a shark, I think that you'd at least be the last one eaten. Okay, I'm gonna start giving examples. Okay. Okay, and the last interpretation I got was about you creating something out of nothing. That in reality, in this reality right now, you have the capability of picking up things quickly in regards to like making things with your hands. So let's say like becoming an engineer, becoming like an architect, making arts, painting, building things with your hands. Like you have a knack for that. Let's say you're creating an amulet of protection, like in the spiritual realm, and you decide to put it in your sister's room, and you actually travel over there, and then you put it in her room. Like it's going to work. It's going to work. Even though it's there spiritually and your sister can't see it there in reality, whatever you ask for it to do is going to work. Whatever you make in the spiritual realm, and if it's witchcraft, it's going to work. If it's a curse, then it's good. You know, you get what I'm trying to say. If you can't do it in the physical, you can do it spiritually. And also, spirit would like to applaud you for your creativity because they really like your mind, the way that you think, and your free will, like the way that you go about your free will, the way you go about life. Because I'm seeing you as someone who isn't too risky. Like I'm seeing, okay, you know how I told you that spiritually you always stay either in the same place, or you don't like to venture out too much, or you are in heavy contact with your ancestors and you only go wherever they go. The way that this manifests in reality is like, you know, like let's say an earth sign. It's like the earth element and the fire element together, especially with Artemis because like it's brown and red. Like I'm really getting that too, like the earth and the fire element together. So I don't know if you have that in your chart. You have this creativity and this potency, but then you're very stable and like you know your boundaries or like you know how to set a plan, like you but you know how to go after. I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say. I talk too much, man. What is this? This is the Four of Wands. With this card, actually, Spirit, okay, this is advice from Spirit, and they're actually telling you to either enroll yourself in school. I feel like you would have already known this though. Enroll yourself in school or continue in your higher education if you are in higher education, or they're encouraging you to go into higher education. Not teaching it, it's learning it and like getting the degree, let's say, getting the PhD, whatever it is there. If you're not doing this, you need to do this because there's something there for your higher calling that you're gonna find. Like this is it. If you're in higher education right now, like you're I don't think you realize yet. I don't think you realize yet. All the opportunities that are gonna be available to you. Like I feel like once you get your degree or something and once you start doing your own stuff, once you start taking your steps into the real world, I don't think that it's gonna come to you easily. But I think that eventually you're gonna become someone that people will pay top dollar for to get your services. I know that has nothing to do with spirituality. I'm sorry, I needed to say that message. I think it's really beautiful because, and so far in all the piles, there has been only like one reverse card. And usually the reverse cards I've been noticing are about the spiritual realm. You know what, pile three? You are someone who has their life in set. I'm talking about manifestations. Like you have that down. Like you've already asked for what you want in a year. You've already asked what you want in the year after that. Like you, and if you haven't done that, I'm just letting you know that you are following Spirit's plan for you. I think it's just like confirmation. But with that in mind, I don't know why I feel the need to say this. Okay, so once again with the Nine of Fire and with the 3 months, I don't know about the trust, but the 3 months, um, whatever you want, like whatever you asked for, nothing is gonna stop you. I'm just letting you know. So if you ask for something that you thought was impossible, like if you're still trying to manifest something that others are telling you that's impossible, but only you believe in it, it's gonna come true. Like it has to. It has to. It's the force behind you spiritually. Like it's too much. It's too like you're. It's gonna come into reality. It's funny. With all this in mind, I'm seeing you as like a low key manifester. Like I'm seeing you like you've mastered the art of like how whenever someone's like, okay, first you have to manifest and then you have to let it go and trust the universe. It's like you've mastered letting it go and like forgetting about it. So I don't know if you did ask for something 3 months ago. I don't know, but it's like whatever you're doing, even if it seems like I want to be a famous celebrity or like a famous actress, a famous actor. I'm working a 9 to 5 job. I still manifested it. Hopefully it comes true. But it's like it is gonna come true, but you don't know what's in store for you. Like you're something impossible is gonna become reality for you. I'm getting you as like a manifester and a creator. So there's like healers and then there's manifestors, right? And I know that there's other types of people. I don't know, but but for you, I'm seeing you as like a manifester, but like there's like a whimsical way about it. Like I'm seeing like swirls. You're not direct. You don't follow your goals. You don't step by step. You set a goal and you're like, however I get there, and that's the way you manifest. That's the way you manifest best. And honestly, you're doing that right now. I'm just getting that you're doing that right now, and you should have no worries about you reaching the end goal because you are going to get there. The only thing is that's going to be unknown to you, but you are conduit right now, and you. Well, this ended up coming up like a message more of than your spiritual abilities. Okay, let me be honest with you. From what I've noticed with the other piles too, especially because this is more of a message in a pick a card and about like what are my spiritual abilities. I did tell you about your spiritual abilities, but I noticed that like the messages came out for people who are already spiritually mature and like already know their spiritual gifts. Like the messages came out for them. Then compared to the one where like I let them know a lot more about their spiritual abilities, and then after the message, like they needed to find themselves. So there's like props to you on that too. I guess you're spiritually mature, and I think that you are also emotionally mature too. You're probably already like kind of grown up. Okay, anyways, please comment if this resonated. I really liked your pile. I love reading your energy, and I hope you guys have a great day or night. And please like, just like, subscribe. Bye. Hello to those just powerful. So guess who has neighbors that just will non-stop yell all day and just fight outside, and then even whenever they talk normally, they just yell because that's what it's like here. You know, everyone just yells at each other. You know, outside my window. You know, like it's just kind of like attract. So let me elaborate on that. Like, let's say it's like setting a bait, and then there's clearly like a trap around it, but the deer comes and still reaches its head to eat it, and then boom, it just gets the head of the deer, and the deer is dead. Whatever animal it is dead. I guess it's like a hypnosis. So, what's your spiritual ability? What's your spiritual gift? I can see you using this in reality too, and it's like hypnotizing people to do what you want, hypnotizing spirits to go away, to stay away, to work with you. Like, it's like it's not just like the gift of gander. You know what that means? Which, if you don't know what that means, it's like the gift of like using your words really well to like draw people in. It's like you just this energy, you can just activate it and people are just drawn to you even whatever you say, really. And this can go also in the spiritual realm too. So I think that if you really perfect this, you can basically attract people, attract spirits, anything that you want towards you because of your hypnotic energy. It's like they're under hypnosis. The only thing I would like to say is that it's like a hypnosis. Eventually, it's gonna wear off, so you have to continue on with it. You get me? So let's say you're trying to like hypnotize your job to get a higher promotion. You end up how I don't know how you would do this, but you go in there, you do your magic and it ends up working. You get out of there, but once you start working the job, they actually start realizing like, oh, this person's actually not qualified, and I just hired them. Like like hypnosis wears off. You get me? You gotta keep it going in those types of situations. Yeah, I'm really seeing also like you have this thing about you where you can really fluff up yourself. Like you can make yourself seem elevated and just something that you're not. So I know that this sounds like rude or something. Like I'm not saying that you're not enough, but I think this is your spiritual gift because you want to do something that's either in a higher social class than what you of course you're fighting. Oh my gosh, this is pissing me off. You know, it just like I just want to say this one thing.
It pisses me off. Like, I'm getting tingles right now. I don't know why. They're fighting over family issues because like, everyone hears like family, but it's like all of these people are like living off of government checks. Like they don't even like most of these people don't even have jobs, and all they do is just fight. Like oh my gosh.
I guess this is why I got tingles, and this is why I said what I said. So you know how for me, I said that about them. Like it's true. Like most of the people here, like okay, whatever. For you, let's say you are living off of government checks, right? You can make yourself just seem rich. I don't know. Just you can make yourself seem something that you're not, and I think you're going to feel to where you're something that you're not. Let's say if you're an influencer, right? You know the right concepts to execute, and you do it, and you make yourself seem like you live with this great life. You make yourself seem like a nature girl. Make yourself seem like an e-girl, e-boy, whatever. You get me? Like you can just pull things off, and people assume that you are the image that you present. But with the backhand over here and with him matching these colors, the message I'm getting is that you have this beautiful spiritual gift, but you have to be careful about the karma that comes with it. Okay? Like how I said, you know how hypnosis wears off. Okay, with the magic maker over here, I'm getting that you have a bloodline of witches or like not spiritual people, it's witches. Yeah, or people who do magic. So I think the reason why I'm telling you to tell this is that, let's say you're doing your own practice, you're doing your own magic, you're trying to work your thing, you're trying to work your charm. You have to realize that whenever you're bringing this up around your family, even if you, even if you, okay, let's say I'm telling you this, and then you're like, what do you mean? Like I'm the only one that does it? Like all of them are Christian? It's a lie. Like there has to be at least one person that you're blood related to that's older than you that does this stuff. And if you tell them about opportunities, if you tell them I really want this, I really, they do magic behind the scenes to make it happen to you. Because I'm getting you as someone who is like physically oriented. I'm not getting you as someone who's like spiritually like protects, who spiritually attacks. Even like I'm not seeing you spiritually oriented. I'm not surprised if you don't really know how to meditate. So with that in mind, it's like it's not even the ancestors, it's the people who are alive, who are the bloodline, who do witchcraft, who make things happen for you. You're the result of that also. So even though this is your natural born gift, they end up bolstering whatever success ends up coming in your life. And if you don't know who this person is, you should really find out, because I'm getting like you need to really connect with them because you need to learn from them. Because the difference between, like, okay, you know how I said backhand, and then I got the karma thing that I was telling you. Well, with the left on red, I'm getting the same analogy, but they don't get any karma for whatever they do. Like I don't know, like they somehow spiritually protect themselves from getting any bad karma from doing the things that they do. But you, on the other hand, the way that you're going about things, you can get the bad karma back. I don't know. There's something about how they're unaffected whenever they do their own thing. If they would do the same thing that you do, it will turn out better for them because they know how to execute it a specific way. So you need to learn from them. Hmm. You wanna know what's so funny? So funny. I'm gonna give different interpretations because clearly not everyone is gonna be like this clicking on this pile. But the first thing I got, I have to channel it. I'm getting you being someone who is trying to profit off of the spiritual community. Like you know, whenever someone's doing research into it, it's like you're trying to profit off of spirituality. So let's say like you want to start a crystal business, but your intentions aren't pure. Your intention, I gotta be real, especially with what I got over here. Because I'm seeing you as someone who, okay, if this resonates, I'm only talking to these people first. I'm seeing you as someone who isn't spiritual, honestly. But you think you're spiritual, probably because you experience something and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so spiritual. Oh my gosh, I could profit off of this. Oh my gosh, I could profit off of that. You just think of nothing but profiting. So that doesn't have to mean like fiscal. It could mean like, oh my gosh, I experienced this spiritual awakening, and for all you know, it probably isn't a spiritual awakening. It was probably just like a spiritual like touch or something. Now you want to do magic, and you want to cast all these spells, you want to contact all these deities, you want to do this, you want to do that. And it's like, I am just letting you know with this fairness, if you're doing that, you're no different than the person I first mentioned about profiting off of spirituality with money. Like you're no different than them. Like it's the same karma. You get what I'm trying to say? Because they're both coming up from bad intentions. So one's coming from a greedy intention, one's coming from a naive, like purposefully naive. You get me? Because this one doesn't want to do any research, but this one wants to do research, but with bad intention. You get me? Like it's not good. Because with all the other piles, I got this card, the goddess card. I got it as representing the that particular person that picked the pile. But you come off as this one, and this was coming off as like the universe. It was coming off as God, whatever you believe in, the higher power. So yeah, this is probably gonna be a short reading because that's all I gotta tell you. If you're trying to profit up off physically, off of spirituality, and you don't have the, I'm just letting you know that you don't have good intentions. You can try to pretend. You can try to pretend like you do. You don't. You want spirituality for the money. So you're trying to like prime yourself into doing pick a card readings, into thinking that, oh yeah, I am spiritual, but you're not. You're not. And I'm just letting you know, especially with the karma that kept coming up, what goes around comes around. So if you have ugly bad intentions, and if you go into it fiscally, it's gonna come right back to you, and you're not gonna get the reward that you expect. I'm just letting you know. And if you're diving straight into witchcraft, not knowing much about spirituality, not really knowing how to meditate, vaguely knowing about, you believe that you're spiritual, and all you want to do is just give. So you make a TikTok account and you start doing pick your card readings. I'm just letting it. It's just not going to end well for you. Witchcraft's not going to end well for you. Doing spells, making money off of spirituality, none of that's going to be good for you. And your karma is not looking good right now, because you're going to continue going down that path. And over here is trying to let you know that there's someone else that you can go for guidance and spirituality if you're interested in that. And if it's not that, I think it's, if you're going for it for money, there's other people who are spiritual who are doing the same thing as you, and you're going to see them have success, and you're going to be like probably jealous of them, probably wondering why you're not having success, and it's because of that. It's because you're not meant to have success in a field where you're being fraudulent. If you feel horrible after this reading, I don't ever want anyone to feel horrible after their pick a card reading. You can always change yourself. There's a reason why this came up. And however this resonated for you, I really do wish you well, and I hope that you're able to turn around your perspective on spirituality and be patient and work on it. You know, don't go in it too, like, don't nosedive into a pool with no water. You get me? You should slowly add the water in the pool, and then so that way when you dive in it, it'll be beautiful. It'll be nice. You dove into water. I don't know. I really do wish the best for you, if you have bad intentions or not. And I please comment if this resonated, and I hope you guys have a great day and night. Please like and dislike and subscribe. Bye. Hello to those who chose Power 5. You have the least disruptive pile because my neighbors aren't yelling at each other anymore. Let's give a round of applause for that. Okay, so when I was putting on the cards, you know how it says you're different? Like, you're different. I don't know, like, not in a bad way. It's just like, I was like, what's going on here? The goddess card hasn't came out sideways until you. These just the cards were coming out weird, so I was just like, well, there's probably something up with Power 5. And I feel the need to already say, I don't even have to really look at anything, just like the feel of it. I think that you are very spiritually attuned and aware. I could picture you being the type of person that in the movies, let's say a paranormal movie, you'd be the type of person to look at the door, and then everyone's like, why are you looking at the door? And then the door just opens. Like when something spiritually is going up. Going up. What is wrong with me? I'm a little tired, okay? I'm getting that you're meant to teach something spiritually to people. I don't know if you already are doing this. You know how there's like life coaches? No, it's not a life coach. You're meant to teach something to people. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it has to do. I got this phrase getting your shit together. So I think it's like teaching lessons on how to help people protect themselves, like self defense too. And I know, okay, I know you're asking about spiritual abilities. I apologize. Okay, let me explain this too. I noticed in these past few piles that the people who are very spiritual, they just got their stuff together in the spiritual realm. Like they already know their abilities, they already know their limits. I noticed that their reading came out as more of like a spirit's message towards them, because you already know your spiritual, like you already know your psychic gifts, you already know your spiritual gifts, honestly. But I'm still going to elaborate more on your spiritual gifts. But overall, like the message from spirit ended up dominating those discussions compared to the people who weren't spiritually evolved. I had to let them know what their spiritual gifts were and what their spiritual abilities were. I don't know if this is gonna manifest in like the reality, because like I, instead of invisible, I got divisible. You're like, okay, everyone, it's a group of 6 people. Get into groups of 3. So one side and one side, right? But it ends up being a trick, and you end up gluing them all together. Now they all have to learn how to escape from it. But you have to allow them to learn the lesson, which they may see as stupid and tedious, but when they look back on it, it's like I actually learned how to dissolve glue, which helped me out in my career and this and I don't know. I know this sounds random, but it's something like spiritual like that where you have to teach other people that. And I think that the lessons you have to teach is nothing comes easy. Like nothing is set in stone. Okay, these are the examples I'm getting, okay? Like let's say you're working as a front desk person. I forgot who those people are. A receptionist. You're working as a receptionist for a fitness place, and then you notice that someone falls down and like is having a seizure, like is having seizures, but you have the knowledge to know what to do and how to handle that particular person. Like you have the medical knowledge for some reason, and it's like you teaching other people that they have to have more knowledge than just that one field that they're working towards. You get me? Like they have to be eclectic. They have to have variety of skill sets. You get me? And that's what you're going to be teaching people. I don't know if this is in reality, but since this is a spiritual reading, I'm saying that you have to teach people this spiritually. You'd be a very good teacher, and it's funny because I'm getting like at first probably I don't think that you're like everyone's cup of tea. You get me? I don't think that your teaching style is for everybody because I can see people like let's say like leaving bad reviews because they took a few of your lessons, but there's other reviews where it's like they're amazing. They're like I learned so much. Like I will never forget this and stuff. It's unforgettable. So it's like a you leave an impression on people. You know, you're what's it called? Polarizing. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why, but for all the piles, I swear, like a time has came out. Like one was 3 months, and you have a year. Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who's like already old, or like, oh, sorry, that's not a really okay. So, someone who's not young, someone who's not in their 20s. I think I'm talking to someone who's like 30 and up. You get me? I think that you're very freaking mature. I don't know why you came to this reading. Maybe you're bored because you already know your spiritual gifts. You already know your spiritual practice. Like you know not only spiritually what you got going on, but you know in reality what you got going on. You know the Fool card, how it's like starting new and you don't even know where you're going, but you're going for a new path. It's like you aren't the Fool card because you already have everything that you want and you're just setting small goals and you're going after them. I'm picturing someone who's like retired and then they're finally just doing the things that they've always wanted to do. It's like that, like setting small goals. I'm seeing you more of like that. Like you're already fulfilled in the reality and spiritually, and you all that's left to do was to teach and to live whatever short term goal you want to live. And I'm really getting that from the Queen of Cups, along with this card and the Queen of Cups. And I think the reason why you're different is like, oh, what do you know? Okay, so you're different sideways facing over here, and so is Freya. Anyways, what I was saying with that was that you have already gone through the phase of you've already found yourself. You've already experienced harsh lessons. You've already like you've done it all. It's like I know I'm different and I know how I'm different. There you go. Like I already know myself. I already know my triggers. I already know how to cope with things. I already know, like, it's like that. But you have the page in the Knight of Wands, which at first I called this the Knight of Wands, but I guess is the page. I'm just letting you know. I think you might be blind to the fact that you need to start teaching people. You need to start hosting lessons because your style of teaching and the knowledge you have to give to others is very unique, and you need to train certain people a certain way to learn certain lessons so that way it can stick with them forever. Because whatever you're going to be teaching them is going to stick with them forever. So I'm just, wow, this is really coming out really strong, especially with the Knight of Wands. I'm getting that. Like I'm picturing you being someone like, okay, so with the Freya card, it's like you don't. I don't even need to tell your spiritual abilities, man. You already know. You already know. And okay, look, with this teaching and learn, you're either learning from someone or you have to start teaching others. It's either one. Okay. Let's say you're working with the deity, like you're gonna be working with them forever, I think. If you're not old and if you're young, it's that, okay? It's not called a cult. What's it called whenever witches come together? A coven. You're working with a coven and like you're working with the leader and you're learning from them. You may not know all your spiritual abilities, but the coven leader already has everything written out. Like as soon as they saw you, they already knew your weaknesses, they already knew your strengths, they already knew all your spiritual gifts. It's like that. Like they know your path and they already know what's planned out for you. You just have to continue following them. And the same thing if it's a deity. This is really powerful. And if someone else is teaching you, you have to go through this. And this is how you're seeing it, I think. But I think what you don't realize is that you're going to be working with them forever. So this coven, you're going to stay with them forever. This deity, you're going to stick with them for like they're going to forever be teaching you new things. And I don't think I'm really allowed with the page of wands and over here with the Freya over here sideways. I don't think I'm allowed to tell you what your spiritual abilities are and gifts because if you have more to learn, I'm not allowed to tell you because you're supposed to learn from them. And if you are older, you aren't learning from someone else, then the message is get your ass moving and start teaching. Like you have all this knowledge, you're super powerful. You've done this, you've done that. You know how to do certain things in your religion, let's say, you know how to do certain things in your spiritual practice. You need to move your ass up and start moving around and letting others know about it. Start promoting yourself, start doing this or doing that so that we can start teaching people. Okay? That was okay. I'm not even gonna. That was really random. Okay, well, I hope this resonated. If it did resonate, please comment about it. I read your comments and it means a lot to me. Please like, dislike, and subscribe, and have a great day or night. Bye. Hello to the people who chose last pile. Okay, well, I didn't think it was going to be this direct. Over here with these three. Oh, well, this is purple. I don't know if you see it. Okay, like raising from the dead, which I know sounds stupid because it's like, how can I do that in reality? How is that my spiritual ability? So I got curiosity to kill the cat, and then over here with the Six of Pentacles, it's like you have to physically touch the cat for it to come back to life. So with that in mind, thank God I finally got a pile like this. The other piles have been like a little, I don't know. I think you're a healer. This works more in the reality of what I'm talking about. I think that you literally can heal people with your hand or whatever you touch. Yeah, it's your hand. I also got the word transformation, so I think you can make transformations happen with your hands. with that in mind, okay, you know how I said like bringing something back to life? I don't, who knows, maybe you can do that, but I'm more seeing like if someone's sick, you touch them, then they heal. Or like, let's say someone's sick in the head, like you set the intention as soon as you touch them, like I'm gonna try to heal their chemical imbalance, then it helps. Like I'm seeing you helping ailing individuals out, and that's your spiritual gift. There was one pile where it was one section where it was psychic gifts. Like this is technically like your psychic gifts. Are you like a mother or a father? So I'm seeing someone watching over someone. I don't know if this is you. I think this is all you. I think this is someone else. I'll get back to that in a second. Because I was seeing the three of coins watching over the six of wands. But I don't think the three of coins is you. So that's why I was like, oh, is this like their childhood coming through? But that, okay. I'm getting the zodiac signs Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpionic, not Scorpio. Like, I think you physically look like you're a Scorpio. I think you know that you're meant to bring life into this reality, which means like in a form of like a baby. You want to know how else this could manifest? You don't have to have a baby. I think it could be like you working, like you helping people give birth, you helping incubated eggs be at the right temperature so that way when they hatch, like they're all good. Like that, like some sort of giving life. I keep on getting that. Like that's what you're meant to do if you don't know that, because like you have a very good, strong compatibility with that, like bringing things to life, like literally, or bringing life more into people or more into animals. Hell, it could even be plants. Like, and with that in mind, it's like you bring about tower moments, and these tower moments could be blessings, right? I mean, tower moments are supposed to be blessings because, I mean, tower moments happen for a reason. The reason why you should go into this like line of work is because you will know when you need to use your spiritual gift, this natural born ability to someone or to a person or to, like, you know how I said like the incubated egg, like you know when one egg is bad, like you don't have to use tools to see, you just know. So you have to touch, you have to nurture it, and then you put it back and then it ends up coming out fine. It's like that. Or like you know when something is going to go wrong in the pregnancy, when they're delivering your child, like you just know, like, oh my gosh, it's like the tube's probably tied around their neck. I think they think that's what's happening. So then the doctor is taking precautions to prevent that. Unless you resonated with what I first said about you have a calling to have a child or to have children. If you have that particular calling, this is what the cards say. Now, please tailor it to your situation. Please take the proper precautions, but it's saying that you need to drop whatever job you have and you need to focus on caring for those particular kids or this child. Because you know how I was saying that this was not you at all. This was not your energy. Or you don't have to drop like the job, but you have to have a job where you'll have a lot of time to spend with this particular child. If that's what you don't want to do, I'm saying it's going to end up being like that. And if you resonate with this particular scenario, I'm actually getting someone who is being raised. You're bringing in a child in a situation where there isn't a lot of money, or it could be they end up living, you end up raising them in a farmer's ranch. So like not necessarily that there's not a lot of money, but like they don't got the designer clothes. They're not eating a bunch of junk food, like it's like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything else about that. Because as soon as I looked at the self trust over here, I got to keep my mouth shut. that there's probably like a contract you both are meant to fulfill together. I think that this is just reassuring you if you are pregnant and if you think that you have to jump your like I don't know, like please have faith, okay? Everything's meant to happen for a reason and it's you're meant to focus on this child. Okay, and if you don't resonate with that scenario, whatever career you're going to go into, like starting off, I think you're going to start off at like you're going to end up becoming like the head or something. So because of your natural ability to heal, you're going to thrive in whatever job you're going to get into that involves bringing life. And I think you're going to end up either becoming a doctor or you're just going to end up making a lot of money. A lot of money. You have so much success and so much like your reputation. I'm really getting like your reputation is going to be like you're going to seem very invaluable to people in whatever profession you're in, and a lot of people are going to be seeking you out. You're just so in tune with your intuition. Like use your intuition in your job. Like you and you love your job probably too, because I can picture you being a healer. You know when to set the right things. You know when to do the right things, and I think that people want to seek out your knowledge. And it's like I don't think anyone can really emulate your knowledge unless there's someone who is like you out there. That's what I'm getting with the Reunion card. Like I could picture only one or possibly two, but maybe one person that you can see yourself in them and you can teach them. But even that, you're going to be so successful. Okay, by the way, I apologize if I didn't go too much into your spiritual abilities. I would like to elaborate a little bit more on this. I noticed with the other piles that those who were very spiritually evolved and who were on their life path and who just were very like mature people in general, I didn't have to elaborate on their spiritual abilities because first off, you probably already know who your spiritual abilities are if you chose this pile, and you're probably already working on them, and you probably just clicked this pile kind of for fun. So for those who were lost and for those who needed to know their spiritual abilities, I had to tell them the other piles. But for your particular pile, I think you already know your spiritual abilities. And I think that I was meant to point this out because you're meant to turn this particular healing power in you and you're meant to put it into reality into your career. Or you're meant to whatever the message was about the pregnancy, okay? So please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Please comment if this resonates. This is a really interesting pile. And I hope you guys have a great day or night. Bye.